Hey, this is Dr. Ken Starr with the Wellness Group today in Arroyo Grande, California. Today we're going to talk about Suboxone tapering. We're going old school today, and I want to give you a few tips and tricks for tapering off Suboxone. So much of what we talk about now is the long-acting injectables, because we're a huge fan of the long-acting injectables, Brixadi, Sublocade. We have found, and you can look at all of these other videos we've done, that giving these medicines once a month really helps people transition off of buprenorphine, and it is a game changer. But let's go old school. Let's go back to the day where you taper off Suboxone. Because what I've learned is there's lots of people who live in places in this country, there's no access to the long-acting injectables. There's no providers. We have a lot of callers, a lot of people who email me, reach out. There's no one in their community, and they want instructions on getting off Suboxone. So we're gonna do a blast from the past today. We've been doing opiate withdrawal management and Suboxone prescribing and detox for just about 13 years now. We have thousands of patients, and I want to just share with you the top 5 or 6 tips, specifically the last one, a new invention by this guy in Texas that's going to dramatically change the game. So let's jump ahead now and talk about how to taper off Suboxone. So if you're on Suboxone, you're stable on it, you're trying to get off, you're looking for solutions on how do you get off this medicine, at what point can you jump off? What's the lowest dose? How long do I need to stay on the dose before I can come down? I want to answer all these questions right now. Okay, rule number 1. You have to be precise and exact. I'm going to share with you here a general outline of the Suboxone tapers I recommend and the amount that we come down. And you'll see here that from 16 milligrams to 14 to 12 to 10, we're coming down by 2 milligrams. Now, exactly 2 milligrams, okay? Not about 2 milligrams. And this is even more important at the lower doses when you get below 4, specifically when you get below 2. So you have to be precise. So if you're going to take 11 milligrams a day, you need to be on exactly 11 milligrams a day. You can't just eyeball it. You can't just cut it. You can't just cut it with a knife and take the bigger half. It's not going to work. It'll work in the higher doses, but as you get to lower doses, no bueno. So number 1 is you have to be precise. Number 2 is we need to convert to the strips. So if you're on the 8/2 tablet or the generic buprenorphine 8 milligram tablet or the generic 2 milligram tablet, that's fine in general for maintenance. But if you're trying to taper off, you're gonna have to switch to the strips. We need that precision. You're gonna see here, we're gonna be on 1.75 milligrams, 1.5 milligrams, 1.25 milligrams. I need you exactly on that, okay? Not just about that, not just cutting it in half and running off to work. We need exact, so you have to be precise, and at some point you're going to have to switch to the strips. Number 3 is reducing your dose. You've seen the outline here about their generally recommended dose reductions. Not everybody does this perfectly. For example, in general, I like to go down 2 milligrams at a time to about 4 milligrams, right? 10, 8, 6. Okay, but how long can you stay at that dose? Here's what you need to know. You need to be stable, rock solid stable on a dose before you do a reduction. What does that mean? Your mood is good. Your sleep is good. You're not irritable. You're certainly not having any cravings or withdrawal. Minimum a week to 10 days between dose reductions. Why so long? I just want to jump down. Don't forget the half-life of this medicine is super long, right? 40, 50 hours. So you're gonna have to, so it's gonna be, when you do dose reduction, it's gonna be 3 days before you even start to feel what that lower dose looks like. So I want you stable. I want your brain to kind of reset and adjust to that lower dose, okay? There's no trophies now for finishing this program a few days to a few weeks early. Do it right, okay? Do it somebody else's way. So when you're on 16, you go to 14. You're gonna stay on 14 for about a week to 10 days minimum. If you're rocking it, you feel great, you feel great, this is no big deal, then come down again. At some point though, most people have a problem. Like they go, for example, 12 to 10, no bueno, they don't adjust to it, they're irritable, they have withdrawal symptoms. Okay, go to 11, okay? That's why this 2 milligrams is a good general rule, but 1 milligram might be needed in this dose range, okay? Do that 1 milligram dose reduction. Try that. That usually works, okay? Another option, if say you go from 12 to 11 and you still are feeling bad, like you feel fine at 12, but you feel kind of crappy at 11, okay, here's what you're going to do. 12 milligrams one day, 11 milligrams one day, 12, 11, 12, one day 12, one day 11. That averages out to about 11.5 milligrams a day. Do that for a week or so, and then the transition to 11 will be way easier. And again, you're going to stay on 11 until you're solid. Could be weeks, could be months, but not until you're solid on 11 are you going to go down to 10. Okay, you'll probably need to go down by 1 milligram increments if that was the case at 11, but let's see. Okay, so the dose reductions come down when your body is ready for it, not when you mentally are ready for it. A lot of people come in like, I want to be off by January. Okay, that's fine as long as you want to feel, as long as you're willing to feel shitty and not, not feel good. But if you're working, you're in school, you have a family, you can't really afford to feel really crappy between doses. So you're going to come down slowly. Again, 2 milligrams ideally, 1 milligram if you need to. Look at this chart here again for a second. You'll see that I've outlined the general dose reductions, but what happens when you get to 4 milligrams, you're coming down by 0.5 milligram, okay? The only way you're going to do that accurately is a 2 milligram strip, okay? So 4 milligrams, 3.5, 3. But at 2, we're doing 1/4 of a milligram, 0.25. So it's 3, so it can be 2 milligrams, 1.75 milligrams, 1.5, 1.25, okay? And in red, I have outlined here 2 different numbers, the 0.25 and the 0.125. These are the highest doses I would recommend before you jump off. If you are above, if you are higher than 0.25 milligrams, do not stop buprenorphine. Could you do it? Sure. But it's going to hurt. Get down to it. No more than 0.25 before you start to jump, before you even consider jumping off of it. Ideally, 0.125. And if you're having symptoms at that point, go to every other day. So 0.125 every other day for maybe a week or so, then try transitioning off at that point. So let me rephrase, okay? The outline, here's an outline. It's good to follow this. Ideally, a week, 10 days between reductions or until you're stable. Try to do 2 milligrams at these higher doses. Below 4, a half. You might even be having to do half, maybe below 6. And lastly, we're going to talk about the Subslicer. So the Subslicer is amazing. This was sent to me by a gentleman in Texas. I have no financial interest in this product. I don't sell it, I don't distribute it, but he sent it to me. I've been giving it out to my patients and getting a lot of amazing feedback. We talked about how important it is to be precise. Well, how are you going to get precision with a 2 milligram strip? This device perfectly holds the 2 milligram strip. You insert your X-Acto knife, you can exactly cut 0.125 milligrams, 0.25 milligrams, 0.5 milligrams. He sells these for like 20 bucks. Well worth it. I'll have a link to his eBay page, which as far as I know is the only way he sells them. Important point is, don't forget about withdrawal medicines. People do these tapers, they come off the long-acting injectables. At some point, some people have some re-manifestation of withdrawal symptoms. It's totally normal, okay? Maybe weeks or months go by and all of a sudden you have the creeper crawlies and you're like, oh my God, I'm in withdrawal. Before you say, I need to get back on Suboxone, which you've just done a great job of coming off of, think about just taking meds for withdrawal. That's right, we have a dozen medicines that we use that are super helpful for withdrawal. And I've talked about them before. Lofexidine, Lucimera, Clonidine, Tizanidine, methocarbamol, gabapentin, benzos, whatever, but there's meds that are super effective. So if you have a re-manifestation of these symptoms, instead of going back on the bube, ask your provider for a week or 2 of withdrawal meds that you can take as needed. This is going to be the difference if you successfully kick in this program for good. Okay, so don't forget about withdrawal medicines and take them as needed. Again, my favorites, certainly Lucimera, Lofexidine. It's hard to get, it's still kind of expensive, but I love it. Clonidine, Tizanidine, methocarbamol are all heavy hitters. Gabapentin we use quite a bit too. But reach out to your doc, they'll probably be super happy you're off bube. I am when my patients say, hey, I've been off bube doc for months, I'm having some withdrawal symptoms. Hey, here's some meds for a while. Let's see if that works, and it usually does. Okay, so thank you. Those are my top recommendations and tips and tricks for doing a traditional Suboxone taper. Please like, please subscribe. Thank you.